Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, Mary, and I'm here today with my 90-day fiance, The Other Way recap. It's season 6, episode 4, and let's get right into it because Josh has arrived in China and he is pulling up to Lily's crib. Okay, and Lily is also happy to see him, and Josh is happy, and they're hugging and kissing each other. And Josh is like, I love the bow in your hair. She's like, I love your beard. So she's like, let me show you around your new home. And he is loving the fact that there's an elevator with elevator music. Oh, yes, there is. The buttons have English on them, which is a nice touch. Josh really appreciates that. The lights in the house are controlled by Lily's cell phone. I mean, it's all like, check this out, high end stuff. But she has a refrigerator with an ice maker, but no food because she has no money. Okay. Um, her stove is fancy as fuck, but there's no gas going to it. Why have gas to a fancy stove when you have no money for food, I guess? And she has a bidet, okay? The bidet to clean Josh's ass. But there is no food because she has no money. Like she keeps reminding him over and over, okay? Now they're going off to try on traditional wedding outfits because they're going to have a traditional Chinese wedding with fancy outfits. He's even going to have turtle soup served at his wedding, and but as Lily keeps reminding him, she's broke. She has no money, but she's doing this all for him. And Josh is like, I haven't even been here 24 hours, and I've lost track how many times she's told me that she's broke. All I have to say, guys, is don't try to do a drinking game with Lily, because if you do a shot every time she says, I'm broke, I don't have money, I spent money on you, Josh, I'm bankrupt, you'll have alcohol poisoning. Okay? So he's going to use the money from the sale of his house to put towards fancy outfits and turtle soup for the wedding. Because I know we were all wondering where the fuck the money from the sale of his house went. Well, he's going to use it towards the wedding. I don't know how these two are going to work out with her constantly hanging over his head that she spent a shitload of money on him. I mean, a man never wants to be constantly reminded how much a woman spent on him, especially that Josh can't work. Okay, he's not going to be able to work, and he's going to have to depend on Lily. I mean, is she going to remind him every 5 seconds how much money she's spending? This is not going to work. This is not going to work. Now, moving on, we have James and Tata and their adorable doggy Jojo, which we see James is passing Jojo off to a good friend of his because he can't take Jojo with him to Indonesia. And meanwhile, Tata is in Indonesia with her sister. She's helping her sister sell ices, okay? And she tells her, mind you, she's been in Indonesia about a month and she hasn't told her family that she's staying. They think she's there on vacation. I mean, these two do nothing but lie to all of their loved ones. Like, what the fuck? Okay. So, anyway, James starts to make his way to her. He has to take a bus to the airport and then like 3 flights. It's like a 36-hour trip or something like that. Okay. And Tata finally decides to tell her sister, and she's like, don't tell mom and dad. But she told her sister that her and James want to move back to Indonesia. And her sister's like, why? Are you fucking insane? Don't move back here. I don't want you to move back here. Why are you leaving the United States where James has a good job, a dependable job, where he could speak the language? Why are you going to leave the United States and come here? Like, what are you going to do? Move in with mom and dad? Sell banana chips? That's not going to be great for your marriage because you know how dad is. And dad wants everyone to listen to him all the time. And Tata's like, yeah, well, I am moving in with mom and dad because I have nowhere else to go. Her sister thinks this is the worst idea, okay, and it's not good when your family, instead of saying, oh yes, we're so happy you're moving back home, like, are you fucking crazy? And by the way, the medical issue that Tata was suffering from, that no one in the United States could diagnose, wound up being her tonsils and a thyroid issue. So she's drinking some herbal tea, and she's doing much better. Honestly, I call bullshit. Tata was homesick. She didn't like being home alone all the time while James worked. And she just decided, my glands are swollen. I don't like what's going on. I want to go back home. And James folded like a deck of cards. So, I don't know. So, moving on, we have Shekinah and good old Sarper. Okay. So even though Shekinah's mad at him because of the whole bottles thing and his little black book and her little red binder with the 143-page love letter from her junior high school boyfriend, um, she still fucked him. Okay. She's mad at him, but she still fucked him because she hasn't had sex in 3.5 months. He hasn't had sex in 3.5 months. So she fucked him. Um, it doesn't solve the problem, but for the moment, she enjoyed herself. So he's like looking at her and he's like, you're my trophy. I love you so much. Even when you're mad at me, even when you're pooping, I love to look at you. Even when you have your menstrual, I love you. Did you know that I have an app in my phone to track your menstrual? Because I think you're so sexy when you have your menstrual. And meanwhile, I'm sitting there thinking, Sarper, shut the fuck up already, okay? Please. So he's like, let me show you proof on how much I love you, okay? And he shows her this dirty wall. And he's like, I've been rubbing my back against this dirty wall for 3.5 months because I have no one to scratch my back for me. And look at my back. It's hairy. My women's are the one who wax me. So that should tell you that I haven't had a woman near me because look at the length of my back hairs. So she's like, you know that I'm a speed waxer, right? So let me wax you. And by the way, I was a speed waxer of Navy men. Navy men used to come see me all day and all night long, and all I did was wax their backs. And Sarper's like, yeah, gee, thanks for telling me. So she's waxing his back, okay? And this is when he decides to tell her that he hasn't told his family about the K1 process. And, to be honest, he's not too happy about the K1 process. He doesn't know if he wants to go through with it. And Shekinah's like, well, we have to move back to the United States if this is going to work because of my daughter. I can't just see my daughter on her summer breaks and holidays. So we're going to have to figure something out. And she, no, I cannot move to Turkey, Sarper. Okay, I thought we had an agreement that eventually you were going to come back with me to the States. And she's like waxing his back. So I don't know. We shall see how this is going to turn out. And mark my words, the minute that K1 comes through, Sarper will be in the United States. Now, finally, we have Stadler and Dempsey. Okay. Now, Stadler is totally freaking the fuck out. Okay. She realizes that she is moving to England. She is giving up her apartment. She is giving up most of her material things to be with Dempsey and to live this van life thing. Okay. Now, I just have to climb on my soapbox for a second. Let me just light this. And when Stadler said that her biological mother rejected her, I honestly wanted to reach through the TV and shake the fuck out of her. Because, in my opinion, her biological mom giving her up for adoption was the most selfless thing she could have done if she realized that she was not capable of taking care of Stadler for whatever reason it may be. Okay? Stadler's biological mom did a selfless decision by giving Stadler up for adoption to give her a chance at a better life that she felt like she couldn't provide for whatever the reason may be. Okay? And Stadler choosing this woman's selfish decision to give her up for adoption as a form of rejection. Well, my biological mom didn't want me, and that set me up for feelings of rejection my whole life. And how do you think her mom felt? Her adoptive mom, okay? To hear how Stadler says, oh, well, my biological mom rejected me. And that set me up for rejection for the rest of my life. I mean, Stadler, please. Okay. So, anyway, she is freaking out at the last minute. And her friend Natalie, you remember her from the tell all? She's not helping it. Okay. She's like, Stadler, how do you know that Dempsey is just not using you to live the van life? Okay. She quit her job. You didn't. She, you gave up your apartment, you put so much money into this, and you need to put more money into this. So how do we know that Dempsey is just not using you? So she freaks out Stadler even more. Okay. Stadler at this point has given up her apartment, um gotten rid of a lot of her material possessions, put a lot of it in storage because and she still needs something to hold on to. She didn't sell her car though. Okay. So this is where I don't understand. Well, Natalie's like, well, you put so much into this. Dempsey sold her caravan. She sold her car. She quit her job. Okay. So she sacrificed a lot to live van life. But Natalie, puts all of these ideas in Dempsey's head, and Dempsey is full out freaking the fuck out by the time Natalie drives her to the airport. Okay. So they say goodbye to each other. Natalie's crying because she's going to miss her friend. And Stadler is full on freak out mode. So we're going to see how this turns out when she gets there. All I have to say is she should have known it was going to be a shit show from the beginning. So that's all I have to say. And I want to thank you all for joining me. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Please like my video and spread the love. Share my video with a friend or 10. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me and for watching me. And I'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.